Good evening and welcome to another episode of The Coach's Box, week 61 here. Thanks for being with us. What are we doing tonight?
Are we on yet?
Are you on yet? I don't know.
Is the internet working
Check,
this time?
check.
The internet is
I just
working.
want to make sure.
Is there enough apple juice?
There might be some apples tonight.
Wow.
Hey guys, Coach Bruno is watching.
Hey, Billy.
Hello,
Thanks.
Coach Bruno.
Coach. Welcome to the Coach's Box, right?
Yeah.
Fun.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Anyway,
everybody.
The best show on the internet.
are there other shows on the internet?
Well, they all suck.
There you go.
Because they are
That's a hot
not the
take.
Coach's Box.
That's a hot take.
Pretty
good way to start it right there.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Lordy.
If you don't agree, tough.
I thought you were going in another direction.
Oh, I wanted to say tough shit. I was being nice.
That was it. Listen, it was the under. It was the under.
5 minutes.
We had a bet. No, that was 90
Oh, wait, yeah.
seconds.
that's-
Pay up.
well, we didn't bet on it. You said over and under.
Oh, man.
Good job. Way
We
to go.
had a,
I
we
got
had a
tears,
bet.
man.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the Coach's Box. Here we go.
Hey, let's try this again. All right. Hey, well, today on our show, we've got a special guest who can, talk about some baseball, local baseball, Mr. Sean Wiley.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet. Sean, you and I have worked together, I think. One of
little
my
bit,
many
yeah,
stops.
a little
Hang on, I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Jefferson County Teaching Tour.
Yeah, there we go. That's true.
Hey, you're on the Jefferson County teaching tour. Jay's on, I mean, not Jay. Ray's on the job tour. So, hey, what do you do?
If Jim
Hold on.
Powers is
Hey,
watching, we are
At some
on
point,
rails.
hold on, listen. At some point, we're just going to be like Jarvis, like a little kid, with a controller. He's like, where it's unplugged, and you think he's playing the TV. We're just going to mute his mic.
Here, just pretend to draw.
Man, you private school guys.
Oh,
What?
man.
That's how you handle it, isn't it?
Oh, that's funny.
Just throwing it out there. All right. Sorry to waste your time.
So, Coach Wiley, welcome to the Coach's Box.
You didn't have anything else to do, did
No.
you? Told the wife and kid, like, hey, I'm just going to go.
I'm out. See ya. Yeah.
You guys have fun. I'm going to go be with these guys.
Well, this is like one of the first times Blair doesn't have the D hat on.
I know, I don't. It says
I
the car,
know.
but I didn't have it on tonight.
I know.
Along with the
Well, I
cup.
wanted to be for all about, let's Coach talk about his team, and I didn't want to highlight anything
Wanna
else. It's
steal
all
his
about
thunder?
you. So it's,
Are you like one of his assistants?
No,
You're not?
no.
I thought I saw you in the coaching garb.
You did, but not for
Do
him.
you break down
down
film?
the line, maybe like 5 years, 6 years. From
Oh,
now.
so you got like hit charts and
yeah,
stuff?
I do
for
have
him?
that. I do have that.
spray charts?
Hey, I don't coach baseball, so hit charts, spray charts,
Yeah,
whatever.
I
It
do
all
have a lot
works.
of that stuff.
Interesting how different sport coaches call things.
you gotta see me coach football.
8-0.
Blitz.
8-0.
Blitz.
You call blitz every time?
Yeah.
We're playing Madden over here, okay?
Kevin, I think what's exactly in Jarvis's cup is sweet tea.
Sweet.
Sweet
That's
tea.
what we're gonna.
I can't
that's our
have sweet
story.
tea. I'm diabetic. This is unsweet tea.
It's sweet
Oh,
tea,
it
but with your sugar that you can have.
No, it's unsweet tea, bro.
My fault. My apologies. I thought I saw you put some sugar in there.
my gosh.
Yeah. So you're drugging me.
Anyway,
Don't tell nobody. Gosh.
All right. Well, again, welcome to the Coach's Box.
Great.
Take 5.
Hey.
No, the internet's working this week.
Wow.
Bum, bum, bum.
So did you hire Blair? Is that how that worked? No. Oh,
No.
just had to
He
volunteer.
volunteered.
I do
Well, we
volunteer.
Or were you
spots and-
voluntold?
All right.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right.
I mean,
Wait, is your kid playing? All right, then you can come on.
we've all been voluntold at some point.
I always called it the line 14 on my contracts. Other duties as assigned. Yeah, that's the one.
Is it line 14?
Something like 13 or 14, depending on what contract
It's
it is.
one, and it's real small.
Yeah.
depending on what
Real
side of the state.
Bum,
Well, you go to other schools.
He's been all over the city.
Hey, wait, really? You want to go there?
Mine's all in the general direction here.
Not here
Here,
or here
wait,
so
wait.
much, but right here.
Here.
We're in the 636 area.
Your
code here.
demographics, though, are a little.
Oh, no. I've been in the 618, the 573.
I've only been in 2 area codes.
Oh, man.
So there you go.
Shoot.
All right,
That's
anyway,
good
back to
stuff.
what counts in life.
Wow.
So, Coach Wiley, tell us a little bit about
He jumped in.
where you are, what you're part of, and what you coach, and tell us a little about the program.
Yeah, so I've run with Jeff Russell. Jeff Russell's been involved for 15, 16 years. A couple years ago, he approached me about kind of taking over the player side, needed to inject some new life, kind of get some things straightened out on some of our discipline stuff with the program and get things back in line. So that's been, I think we're going on year 4, year 5 here, and I think as far as talent-wise, this is the best talent we've had. Last year we did not play. We wanted to, group decision, a lot of different factors.
COVID.
Well, insurance was
Doesn't
an issue
help.
at the school, having to have their name on it. Then we were, going to have to order all new uniforms, and that was a whole other deal. And
Yeah.
couldn't have Legion. I know some other programs played, but just didn't work out. Sucks. But this year we're heading. We're drawing from DeSoto, Hillsborough, Grandview. I don't know that we have any Kingston kids, maybe on the younger level. But we're, I think, in position, especially the seniors, we're in a really good spot arms-wise. We're getting a lot of guys from DeSoto, getting some guys from Hillsborough that are going to contribute. And I think we're set up to, as you can see with the high school team, they're doing pretty well.
Right.
Whether we hit, some teams have a good high school team, and then they come out and play summer ball, and it's a different story,
Changes.
So, but we've got the other teams in the district that are always going to be tough, that are always, Festus Rock's improved from where they were a couple years ago. St. John's, I talked to Junie the other day. He doesn't know. He's, he had a bunch of kids come out. He's not sure, but they'll be good. They're always good.
Sure.
So.
He does a good job down there.
Yeah, he does a great job. Our junior level, they're going to be pretty good too. There are a lot of Hillsborough kids on there, really, really deep. The freshman team, I think they're going to have to grow a little bit, so it might be some growing pains there. But we've got Coach Phipps is back. He used to coach at DeSoto, so he been trying to get him for 3 years, and he finally gave in. So he's really excited. I went down to practice yesterday, and he was doing his thing. He had guys running all over the place. Nobody was standing around. They were all doing something, and
Good stuff.
you could hear him from the parking lot barking out stuff at him. Coach Russell's there swinging the fungo. So he had him assigned on something. But, yeah, we're just a local Legion team, and we've been trying to work. We've got close to 50 kids in the program now and trying to expand, and we're looking at some other options in the future, expanding lower levels possibly. To really build it up and make it a good community thing that DeSoto and the other areas around are proud of.
Yeah. And I know that's something that, I know these guys gave me a lot of trouble about it, but
A lot.
I'm very fortunate to be able to help out with kind of a feeder program, team of the Legion and, the 12U team. And, my son plays for them. And, we've been truly enjoyed this season so far. We're just getting started. But, we talked about that. It's the importance of growing it at a young age and getting those kids committed at a young age and playing together and building it up from the bottom. And, so I think it's very important. And we talked about that on the show just in all sports. If you're not starting at a younger age and getting excited about it and getting and playing and loving the game, and it changes things. So, I'm excited to see what I know DeSoto High School is having some success this year and very talented, and be interesting to see how that progresses towards you guys. I mean, I don't know how many of those guys are playing for you, but as far as arms, I mean, they got some arms on that team. So and they can flat hit the baseball too. So I know that having that year off, how do you think that's going to play into this season coming in?
I don't know that it's really going to have a negative effect. A lot of the guys that I have a majority of that team coming with us. So a lot of them guys that were already playing for us, even like Levi Fisher, he was a little younger, but he was a standout guy at his age. So he was up with us already. So a lot of them guys that were on that edge that were already coming up were already up with us. Most of them were. So there's not, as far as a lot of transition and a lot of learning at that level, not really that much. Sampson's back, Ethan Sampson. He's a big guy on the mound for us, play first base. Bryson Kingsland, he just committed to MAC.
Yeah.
He's a new guy. Michael Schmidt's a new guy. Hunter Dill. We got Krodinger. So we got a couple new guys. It'll be interesting to see how Nick is compared to Cameron. I had Cameron. Cameron's a great kid. Loved him. But I think Nick's a little different personality, so we'll see how that plays out. But excited to have him. And that was part of, a couple of years ago, we wanted to kind of change. We had a lot of kids deflecting, going to play gamers and going to play this and going to play that. And I think a lot of them realize that you can pay a ton of money for something that you might be promised that may come true or might not come true. And from our experience, what we've seen is they get promised all this stuff, and I end up having to help them with recruiting to college. Well, if I'm paying somebody $4,500 to run a baseball, a summer league, pretty sure college recruiting should be included in that. So I've got kids that haven't been part of a program in years past I've had to help. So a couple of years ago, we got to where we're like, look, we got to stop the bleeding here. We've got to make this where we're keeping all of our kids that are our guys, keep them here, and we've got those groups now together, and they're moving through together, which is starting to put us in that position where we're going to be a little more consistent.
Right.
I'm not very familiar with the Legion, so
Neither am I.
I would say, is it actually going back to Legion? Because I know last year doing one of the games, they said, hey, we can't call this Legion.
rudely interrupted. I didn't even get to finish.
Hey, sorry.
What I was going to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Sorry,
my
Jarvis.
question
Anyway.
So my question was going to be, so what areas can you draw from? You mentioned several. So if a kid lives in Festus, Crystal, are they only bound to the Festus Legion, or what? How's that work?
Yeah, so it's you got your base school. So Festus is a base school, DeSoto is a base school, and then it literally goes by. You go to Google Maps and you look at how many miles am I away. So, for instance, a couple years ago we had a kid that was 0.2 miles too far. So if they're in that mileage closer to Festus, that's their district.
So it's like the mileage by the way a crow flies.
You have to put it on Google Maps, and whatever it
Straight
tells
line.
you, yes, whatever it tells
No
you
rubber
is
bands?
the closest.
So it's not like how they
distance.
decide districts in any other,
No.
like MSHA
No.
guidelines or anything like
What
that.
if somebody has a mailbox
Oh,
and
No.
they decide, you know what, I used to live over here, but I want to play for them, so I'm going to go over here. Does that happen? You guys have to deal with, that kind of stuff?
I'm going to sidestep
It
that
happens.
question.
Yes, they
because
Isn't there-
It
Yes,
does.
they
It
will.
does happen. It goes by what they put on their paperwork. I'm not even going to open that can of worms.
Is there a waiver, though, to where, like, let's say you're living in Festus.
I'm living
Yes.
in Festus.
Okay,
Yes.
and then
You said let's-
you either don't make the team, don't want to try out for the team. Can
I
you
got
get a
cut
waiver?
because
You got
Coach
cut.
Wiley's mean.
Well, no, I'm
Well,
talking
like
at
me.
Festus. At Festus.
There's-
Oh, so
Okay.
Coach Bones mean.
So Coach Bones mean. And I'm never going to get to play college baseball, so
I'm going to tell Zach you said that.
I'm never going to get to play college baseball. Listen, if Jeff Ketcherside's watching, he's watched me hit in and out.
Not good.
It's not, it was the worst.
good.
It was the worst day of my life.
First day of my life.
There's only one day.
Pretty bad. I mean, it's really not that hard. You just throw it up and hit it. You
Listen,
know?
I didn't say I was good at baseball.
But yes, back to your basically there's a form 76. It's a release that it's not something that's a common thing. It does happen every year. You do get those cases of, hey, it's so and so's cousin or so and so's brother. That's a situation where we look at it. Okay, that warrants it. But if it's somebody that lives in our district, really good, and we're like, well, I want to go play at Rock, or I want to.
Probably not going to happen.
Probably not going to happen, and that was part of what happened before. And I know it ruffled some feathers, but we had to do what we had to do. There are situations where people get cut. That's a different story. They do get cut. They're not on that team. Or if they're, say there's a like Festus or Rock doesn't have a freshman team and that kid wants to go play, then they have the freedom to go play wherever. If that home-based school doesn't have a team, then they're free to play. And back to your question about is it Legion, yes. Last year when everything came out, the American Legion actually took a stance and said, we're backed off. We're not touching this. Cancel the World Series, everything. And they basically sent out an email and said, you cannot wear a Legion patch, cannot be affiliated, nothing.
Right.
So if you play any leagues, you can play Babe Ruth, whatever you want.
I agree.
But it's game on now. They've already had an article out. They got the site ready. They're getting ready for the World Series in August, and
well, while we're talking
it's
about
full
it,
speed.
so a Legion team, how many days a week do you guys practice?
So for us in the past, we were really 6 days a week. We were either games or practice. This year, we're more in a situation where I've got a group of kids that it's how much is really going to get accomplished with these guys that are already kind of used to playing together and in a good position. So we're really, practices, we're supposed to start Saturday depending on what happens here with districts and stuff, but we're not going to practice that much, because we're going to have weeks where we're playing 9-10 games in 5 days. Double headers, but
Sure.
These guys got to be kids at the same time.
Well, I
don't want to burn them out. I don't want to say, hey, we just played 10 games in 5 days. We're going 5 days. We're going to practice. No,
the reason why I asked, I'm a basketball coach, so
Are you?
I got a multi-sport athlete, a kid that wants to play a Legion ball, and then I'm not going to get to see him at all in June. And June's the biggest month for basketball, and I'm not trying to be controversial here, but
Sounds like you're being
I
controversial.
am. It's like if he misses
Stirring
a
the pot.
practice, oh my God! And so,
Survey
Yeah.
said.
yeah.
and so, what do you do with the multiple sport athletes?
In the past, really what we've had to work around was 7-on-7. So we just didn't schedule stuff on Tuesday nights. We said we're not going to practice. We're not going to play games.
Yeah, but a lot of baseball kids are basketball kids.
No,
Not-
I know.
Not
I
as
know.
much football,
So
probably. as,
in that situation, when I've encountered that, we've had guys that have had basketball that they do it in the morning, or they have maybe a league night, and I've told them, hey, you're at your own risk here. Not a huge fan of it because you could hurt yourself, whatever. But if you got to practice, you want to go work out, that's fine. But if there's a game the same night that's ours, that's our priority.
Right.
So that's kind of how we run it. I don't know how other programs do it, but it's kind of like during basketball season, if I wanted to run a practice in the gym, and then they said, "Well, coach, I can't come to your basketball practice. I got to go to baseball." What would you say?
well, that's
It's just like what's in season, what's not. I get it. I get all sides of it. Everybody's trying to work on things.
well, you open a whole other can of worms when you say that because there's kids practicing baseball during basketball season all the time.
Sure, yeah.
So
sure.
The reason why I state that is June is the biggest week for basketball, and so you got a kid like my son. My son won't play Legion ball because of basketball, and he could probably play Legion ball.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you sure about that, or is that because Dad doesn't want him to play?
It has
because
nothing to do with me.
Are you sure?
I'm
100%.
100.
I'm just checking.
I agree.
You can
Okay.
ask anyone sitting here at this table that knows my son.
All right.
They're 100%.
And you didn't pay him?
I don't
Just make sure. Okay.
basketball's his sport.
He does sport.
He's going to pick basketball before anything else. He played in a district game Friday and then played in a basketball tournament Saturday and then had to show up for it was baseball practice on Sunday, so he couldn't go play in the tournament. I'm school sports before anything. The reason why I ask is because I've had to run into that issue with kids that play a Legion ball. And kids that play a Legion ball usually are practicing 7 days a week. Yeah. In my experience. And so that's why I asked the question, because when you're a high school coach and you're trying to get – if I was a football coach, I'd be saying the same thing because a lot of times your quarterback plays baseball.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what we ran into.
And you run into that a lot as your quarterback. You want them there on 7-on-7 night. You want them there. Weightlifting and that usually ain't a problem because you can work that around a Legion program.
Yeah.
But basketball, you can't really – and Chris could probably chime in on this, but he ain't going to. But I don't care if I piss off a Legion people. But I'm saying –
He doesn't know you very well.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey,
welcome. Hey, I've worked with Bone for more than 6 years at Herky. I worked with
I don't
him at
have to
Crystal.
worry about it. He's over here. I don't have to worry about accommodating his schedule. You know what I mean?
You're right. But
I know what he's saying.
But Zeb's got Wednesday nights at DeSoto too. I mean, at Hillsboro too. And that's where it sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to hear the Legion coach. I don't.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm against the Legion baseball. It's because there's no give and take a lot of times.
You are anti-Legion.
Well, and I'll intervene. You know, one year I helped out Coach Bone at the Legion, and he was doing basketball at the same time, and it was really difficult for me to try to do both. But you know, I made the commitment to do both, and so you know, Coach Bone was gracious enough to understand that Monday nights were league nights, and so I wasn't going to be there on Monday nights or whatever. But as far as the kid goes, I think that the commitment level has to be made known at the very beginning when they try out, and I think that's the most important thing is communication. Guys, the side of it goes, hey, they know the expectations of the Legion program, they know the expectations of your program, and those kids got to make a choice at that point. They're 18, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, 19 year old. That's the deal that they have to take into consideration.
I agree. I just think that both programs miss out on some kids.
Sure they do.
Because
there's
no give and take.
And I think the biggest problem becomes we've set these kids up in that predicament, and now we've told them that this is how it is, this is what it is, and these kids don't handle that very well. I mean, they can't handle making that decision very well. So they get a little bit in a tight spot, and they don't know how to handle it. I mean, I guess somebody sitting at the table here that has a kid that was very multi-sport athlete, was a hell of a baseball player, but was also a hell of a basketball player. And so you take into consideration.
Yeah, but he got chastised for coming to some basketball stuff.
But you know what? He took understanding that was what he wanted to do, and
I'll throw it out there. I don't give a crap.
But he was vocal.
He got chastised for coming to some basketball stuff.
But here's the thing: is I think that it goes along with communication. I think that kid has to be able to communicate with the Legion coach, and it has to communicate with you.
There was communication. It still didn't matter.
I know,
and that's what I'm getting at with it. And I'm not attacking him. I'm just saying.
I just think the biggest thing is there has to be an open line of communication, and if it's not open, and then either program doesn't want to listen to each other, then I think it's defeating the purpose of why
welcome
you're
to
there.
the coach's box, where we trash every other sport but basketball.
We trash basketball too.
I'm not trashing anything.
So hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's pivot here.
Pivot.
So we're talking summer ball. There's Legion. There's Slava that's still out there. There's the select teams that's up in the city.
Babe Ruth.
You know, Babe Ruth that's down south.
Oh, there's all
high
kinds
school.
So how do you – well, and I know from you, you know, in the 2000s coming up, us, you know, back when it was in the 90s, I mean, everything. Legion was it, then it became Slava, and now it seems like there's a league for everything. How do you manage as a Legion coach, and how does – Legion organizations manage just the boom of all the different organizations the last 20 years? What do you think?
Well, I think, Legion was it there even when I played in 07, 08, and 06, 07, 08, whatever that was. But whenever I played, that was it. That was, hey, what Legion program are you playing for? And then it slowly turned to, are you playing for the recruits? Are you playing for the gamers? And it was this big fad of, well, I'm paying a bunch of money to go play for this program. When in reality, the competition is no different. The only difference is you might travel to Florida, but we travel to Omaha, and we travel to Blue Springs, and we see the same kind of arms and the same kind of studs. And we also see guys walking around that are college scouts, and occasionally you'll see pro scouts walking around some of these tournaments that you don't know that's who that is.
Right.
And they may not be there to watch a specific player, but they're there to catch something. It's the same deal. To get into that whole issue of the pay. For example, I had a kid a couple of years ago he couldn't play at that level, but they took him because they needed an extra guy, and he quit like a week into it, and they wouldn't refund his money, and they paid $3,500.
It's
to
big
me,
ti-
that's
it's big
not
time money.
right. So how have we combated that? I've said, look, you're going to pay $450. You're going to play 40 to 50 games. You're going to play really solid competition. We're going to get you, if you have aspirations to play college baseball, we'll do whatever we can to get you there. Mm-hmm. And open the door for other opportunities for you. You're going to get to travel and get to do some of these other things. Are you going to get to fly across the country? No. But you also need to understand that you're not just playing for your name on the back. You're playing for your town, and I think a lot of places have gotten away from that.
Correct.
They've got into this thing of the flashiness, and I think social media is one of the worst things that has fed that, which it is what it is. It's here. We have to embrace it, but that's how we've combated it. And we just said, look, we're providing a quality experience for you. Come and play. If you don't like it, it's not for you. I totally understand, but I'm going to tell you that 95% of them that do come out and experience it are going to stay and are going to realize, hey, this is solid. This is solid competition, and I enjoy this. And and if they get to play with their guys they're used to playing with, and
that's the thing.
And instead of going and meet, and I get that, going to play and meet a bunch of different guys from all over the place, that's fine. But how fast do you really gel in 6 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's an argument that could go on for.
Well, I'll tell
hours,
you.
know?
Billy Pruno, who's watching,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I can tell you back when I was young. I mean, we're talking long time ago when he was the Legion coach.
40 years ago.
It was a. I ain't that old. Come on now. But no.
You just say 40 years ago.
So wait, this is when Jason first started teaching.
Exactly right. You know,
40 years ago, I was 5 years old, man.
It was Ray's 15th job. You know, no. But no, I mean, he can tell you.
Man,
you know,
Ray. Wow.
But it was the thing, you know, you talk about
15 was a low number, by the way.
Yeah.
It was probably 35.
Yeah, being a part of a community, you know, you can go. I remember going to Sunset Field and watching Festus Legion, and you see those guys, and you want to emulate them, and you're hoping that, hey, maybe one day I get to maybe try and do something like that.
I can remember going to Paducah, Kansas to watch my brother Dave play in a Legion ball and to play and all that stuff. And it was a pride thing in Festus.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
to play for the Festus Legion, to beat Rock, you know, that was a big thing. And I both of my brothers were big baseball guys, and it was a big thing to play for Festus Legion and to play for Pruno and to be with all the great players around around Festus, Crystal, Herky, and all playing for one goal.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, my other question to you is this, and, you know, I've seen it over the last 10 years where you have such quality athletes in Jefferson County, and you're coming up against, you know, a Rock, a Festus. I mean, you even go out and you go down to Farmington and you pull in Farmington, maybe Potosi that periodically has a team. I mean, there's some quality competition, and it takes a tough time to get out of your region, and I just think it makes it really difficult to try to advance, into state and make it to state and make it to into the regional and then on to the World Series. And so, just because if you've taken all the entire county and put them in all on one team, I mean, can you imagine how successful that could be at the?
Sure.
I mean, it's unbelievable, and that's why I think that Legion baseball, and I won't knock this at all, because I think Legion baseball is a big reason of why baseball is so important in this county, is because of Legion baseball. If it wasn't for Legion baseball, I think baseball in this county would be at the bottom. But kids thrive on that opportunity to maybe be able to play in a regional or a World Series, or the aspirations of doing that. And I think that's build programs around the county and school districts around the county to be successful in baseball, is because those kids do play a lot in the summer.
Appropriate time to play the music.
Always on me. But I think that as from your standpoint, I mean, how hard is it, and maybe we can talk about this after we come back from break, but maybe think about this, is how hard is it to compete against a Festus, a Rock, a St. John, a Farmington that has quality teams? I mean, when you go into postseason, it's do or die time, but you're playing against some of the best, and right here in your own backyard, and I think it's tough. So we'll talk more about that.
Let him think about that, and we'll also we forgot to
simmer on that.
We forgot to do the prize sign ups. Share, like the coach's box.
No, we got wait. We got two. We got two people. Sean, you need to just get on there and fill out that form.
Right.
Try to get you a $20 gift certificate to
There
Loftus.
he is. He's on it right now.
Yeah, one freaking entry right now. Everybody jump on there.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That is
Isn't
terrible.
he in charge of getting that stuff going?
It's on there. What do you want me to do? Go out? I can't go to people's houses and be like, dude, do it now.
Do the form.
Now.
Do the form.
Hey, so speaking of that, Ray, before we go to break,
Yep.
speaking of, this segment was sponsored by SMCI, Home by SMCI.
Was this a home of Dinger?
Home of Lawrence Crodinger. He was sponsored the local sports segment.
Doesn't he support them too?
He
Yes.
does. He does.
I was gonna say, he was
it's
a
on
big,
their name. You know?
He's D-Town.
So
Yeah.
make sure we put that out that this segment was sponsored by Home by SMCI and Lawrence Crodinger there. So we appreciate his support and his sponsorship. Of our
so if
first
you
segment.
need some air conditioned work,
yes,
you need to get Dinger and his team.
He's come out to my house and fix the air conditioner.
and his
Not
slogan
him
is
personally, but
the
home.
The Home by SMCI slogan is you're looking to get fit. Maybe remember SMCI, looking to get
right.
fit.
Their
Remember.
old saying used to be, "Isn't it time you come home?" And that's what we have down there. People
Yes.
call 636-337-4444. That's
Great
Lawrence Crodinger.
people out there at SMCI.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. We're going to step aside for just a quick second. We'll be
back.
Right back.
We're back.
Coach
Right
Box.
back. Come back.
See ya.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Jefferson College has affordable degree options for students of all ages. Plus, register before December 11th and you could win a $250 book scholarship or other great prizes. Jefferson College provides safe on-site and online options and many exciting career pathways like humanities, business, social science and public service, math, physics and technology, and science and health. Students who know, go Jeffco. Enroll now at jeffco.edu.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
a family atmosphere,
any place to watch your local sport teams. Come out to La Pachanga.
check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonter.
Come out to La Pachanga.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Ray, and I'll say real quick, I really admire what you guys do with this. I think everybody who's ever tuned into one of these, whether it's a Legion game, whether it's a high school baseball game, with basketball, football, whatever it is, I've heard nothing but tremendous feedback about Livestream STL and what you guys do and the quality of production, things like that. I would really encourage anybody who's involved in athletics throughout the county, or really anywhere in the metro area, anybody who's interested in sponsoring activities to get on board and get involved with this. I think it's added a ton to what we do here. It's added a ton to the program. You guys are a class act, and you're committed to doing things the right way, and we really appreciate that.
I do this for the love of the kids. I do it for the love of the coaches and the ADs, because there's not enough high school coverage in the St. Louis area. There's just not. Once again, I get to keep my relationships with guys like you and a lot of the other great coaches administrators and former athletes. And that's one of the cool things that we're going to do here too. Is I've been fortunate covering some great great coaches and great kids, but the caravan is. I wasn't letting it die, and sure enough, we're here now, and the reboot is in full effect.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's presentation. Take advantage of the HD experience here with Livestream STL by going to the TKDS Sports Network app. Download the app and subscribe by going to videos.tkdssports.com. That'll get you access onto our TKDS Sports app, Roku, and Fire Stick. And thanks so much for your support of Livestream STL. And we are back for segment number 2. We've got people flying around behind me here, and looks like Jason has to use the bathroom. So we've only had 10 minutes, but that's okay. It is kind of is what it is. But so guys, I know we wanted to go right back into that segment there, and so let's go ahead and ask that question again there, Riley.
All right, well, welcome back to the Coach's Box.
I threw that at
over a little bit of segment 1 here, but we're joined by Coach Sean Wiley of the DeSoto American Legion senior team here. And before the break, I kind of asked a little question about how is it to compete against some of the best around the state, really, in this local area with the Festus, Rock. You take into consideration St. John, Farmington. Periodically Potosi has something in there. So how do you say that, you're playing against those teams 2, 3, 4 times sometimes throughout the summer and into consideration? How do you think that prepares you for postseason when you go and have to play them again in postseason to move on from that point?
Well, I will say this about our district. It's my opinion from competition I've seen around the state. It's in the top 3. It's really tough. There are, at any given year, there could be 3 to 4 teams legitimately 2 that should run a district by itself.
Right.
And we've been out of state and in tournaments before. And
I think we got some wind going on in here, Ray.
Somebody's mic's going
close the window. Oh, please tell me.
Is that Jarvis? It's got to be Jarvis.
Is it Jarvis's mic? Yeah, you go to the bathroom and you left the door open and the wind's blowing in.
No, we're good, I think now.
I wasn't.
But back to that. I mean, we've been in tournaments around the state. I mean, I was in Blue Springs a couple years ago, and somebody asked us what district we were in, and I told them, and they said, "Oh,
District 13.
You're in that district." And I said, "Yeah." They said, "That's a pretty tough district." And I said, I mean, usually you got a team that goes to state there pretty much every year. And a couple of years ago, St. John and Festus were both loaded and went. Mm-hmm. And they went back and forth, and they had some really cutthroat battles. And we lost to Festus in the semi that year. And, you play each other twice, and then you get ready for the playoffs. So there's not really any secrets. But even without the secrets, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. I've seen games where people shouldn't beat each other. A couple of years ago, we beat St. John like 17-4, and we had no business doing that.
Right.
But
beauty of baseball,
But then
on any given day, man.
But then we beat Bonne Terre a bunch, and then they come back and beat us in a semifinal to go to the final against Festus, and it's like, wait a minute, how does that happen? But like I tell the boys, it's when you get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
Yes.
You know what it's called?
It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
It's called baseball.
It's baseball. It's
exactly
anything can happen on any day. Anybody can beat anybody. You might have a guy that is not supposed to pitch that goes out and throws a complete game for you. And I personally, I think our district's extremely tough. So when we get outside of that and we go and travel a little bit, we play some of these teams that are supposed to be the better teams of their district. We're like, man, I don't know if you would survive in our district, especially in the playoffs. Because I mean, in the playoffs, as far as, and I played in some big college games when I was pitching at Fompon, and I've seen bigger crowds and louder crowds at our district playoff games, especially the later games in the tournament. People lined up along the fence line, and Ray can tell you that. He's seen it too.
Oh, they're awesome.
It gets intense.
Yes, it does.
And
do you play Milliken? Do you ever play? So here's this. Yeah. This is our college experience.
I
playing
did
Milliken.
play them, yeah.
Keg stands down the third baseline. Oh yeah.
We
Keg
played.
Stands down the
I
third
played
line.
it.
Hey, pitchers! All our relief guys. Us. Hey,
I
you want one? Come on, it's all right.
I forget this school. It was up in Chicago one time at Fompon, and there was a guy that was nicknamed Goose. And every time he hit a bomb, and he hit like 4 in the series, they had a goose sound over the speakers every time he hit a bomb. Like, where's them geese at? But, yeah, I mean, our district's extremely tough. I mean, you see some really quality arms, a lot of kids that probably should go bigger than where they go.
When I hear goose, I think of Stop Gun.
All right, so I've got a question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
You've been quiet tonight.
I thought you guys were
really
talking.
What is wrong here?
I know.
Baseball.
Oh,
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Baseball.
He's going to ask
limited knowledge.
When you do fungo, do you throw the
How
ball
do you do
up?
it? Can you show me?
What's a fungo?
Well, yeah, I kind of know what that is. Anyway, no, my question is whenever you have, so you're trying to manage kids who your pitchers, and how do you deal with pitch count when we have this crazy thing with Misha where they basically you have to input their pitch count online. They tell you when they can pitch again based on how many pitches they threw, when,
Personally,
et cetera,
I like
et cetera, et cetera, which I like it, but being the high school guy, the high school coach, and seeing there's – and not to say that Legion baseball is irresponsible because I don't know what you guys do. That's why I'm getting ready to ask you. But then it's 2-part question. So how do you guys handle the pitch count situation, and then how do you guys deal with kids who might be kind of playing or doing things? Because with his basketball coaches, I've got kids who play on several different non-school teams at once, which I know that
I saw some of them this weekend. But go ahead.
Yeah, they take off
So
one jersey.
are you talking about like they're playing with different baseball teams?
Yeah, and then, not Legion teams. Obviously, they'll play Legion for you, or they'll go play with a select team or whatever. How do you deal with the pitch count issue there with kids who pitch for both?
The competing with other teams, there's an actual agreement they have to sign with us that look, you're allowed to play with another team up until district playoffs. Once the playoffs happen, your priority from there out.
Sure.
Do we have a lot of that? It's very, very rare. We don't have that mainly because of our schedule, and most of the time they get in and they start playing with us. Like, I don't have time to do this. I like what I'm doing here. Dual participation, that's what it is. The other part of that is I love it. I love the pitching. It's a game. It's a puzzle. I like to mix and match. You actually have to manage it. But if I got a guy that's cruising, and I got 6 more games in 3 days, I'm not taking him out of the game. Just let him go and burn him, and then let him be ready for the next big game after that and use my other guys. Luckily, this year we're pretty deep on arms, so that will help. But there's situations, like I said, I had to throw Landon Swallow I don't know if he's watching, but he's not a pitcher. I had to throw him in a district game, and he won in the playoffs. And it was basically a conversation with the team of like, look, we've got Breyer for the championship game. I can throw him here, or we roll the dice with Landon and see what happens. They said, let's throw Landon and have Breyer later. It didn't work out, but that kind of thing, I mean, you've got to watch it. And really a lot of that is kind of policed by Game Changer because everybody uses that, so you can kind of watch that. And that kind of helps things.
But do you
we have a pitch. The same thing basically what Misha has is you have so many days rest based off your pitch count.
Is it count or any? Because I know
It's count.
For us, with our kids in select at 12, 13, it's innings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
no,
it's
pitch count.
I don't necessarily like that.
Totally done.
Totally not. Yeah, because a kid could throw 25 pitches in 3 innings, or another kid could throw 55 in 3 innings. It's like.
Or you can throw 55 in 1 inning.
I heard a comment by somebody who's obviously played a lot more baseball, but in the past generation, I'm going to say it was maybe even on a Cardinals broadcast or something, where there's a difference between. They're talking about pitch count. There's a difference between high stress pitching. And just the pitch count. So you go out there and throw 20 pitches in a high-stress situation.
It's going to feel like a lot more.
It's going to feel like a lot more than maybe sometimes when you go out and throw 40.
Right.
Yeah, and that's, that's a lot of things. Like with doubleheaders especially, sometimes I'll have a thing where, I have it mapped out and I say, look, you're throwing 30 pitches. That's where you're at. If you're there, I don't care if it's mid-batter. I'm going to have to pull you because I have to have you later. And try to get them in that mindset of, hey, I've got to make my pitches count, because if you just tell them, hey, just go do whatever you want, they're not going to be as focused. So if they know, hey, I got 45 pitches here, I got to make every one of these count. So it's just a mix and match thing. You get yourself, if you're not careful, you can really box yourself in a corner with who you have left.
What I've seen a lot of is you got a kid that's a great pitcher, but he's also a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I see that playing out for some people here coming up. One of our best pitchers is a good catcher at Herky, and how do you manage that? I mean, and I've seen kids that are in this position that they pitch the first game of the doubleheader, and then they catch the whole second game of the doubleheader, and then if you come back on Sunday, they're catching the whole game on Sunday. So, how do you manage that?
So a doubleheader, I don't see really any issue with that, because, number one, most of the time it's hot out there, loose, they're moving around, so their blood's flowing.
Correct.
Now the next day, that's a whole different story. And Dave Gimmer was a big person on this, that if he had one of his guys that threw a lot the day before and they were normally a shortstop or third base, they just didn't go to that position. If they could play second or first, they would play over there, or maybe even right field, because your DH, but your high stress throw from right field might be maybe twice a game, maybe.
So does that, and I'll kind of piggyback off of what you guys are talking, explain to the folks that are watching what's it like to build a roster? How do you go about doing that? How does that? You've done high school as well. What are some of the differences? How do you compare and contrast that? And then, when do you actually hold your tryouts? Because select ball, whether it's pay to play in other places, they'll have their tryouts in August for next year.
I get kids all the time that are just like, Coach, I don't know how to cover a bunt, or I don't know how to do a relay, or I don't. And one of the biggest ones is double relay, or practicing infield pop-ups.
Yeah.
You talk about
the worst.
And some of the senior guys, they'll you hit a infield pop-up, they'll run the other way because they hate them. But it's a part of the game. Mm-hmm. So it's just stuff. It's just stuff that we see that stuff all the time as kids that like they don't know how to run the bases right, or they don't lead offs, or just little stuff that happens in games that makes a difference in winning and losing. So we try to build it out that way. We try to be educational with it. We try to have it set in August sometime, and then if we have a couple extra roster spots and we've got somebody that there's a good reason, hey, I missed because of X, Y, and Z, okay, there's a possibility we could try you out later.
What do you keep as a formal number on each, I say, the senior and the junior team?
So the freshmen, I believe they're at 16 right now, 15, 16. The juniors are at 15, and we're at 15. We can keep a max of 18.
Okay.
Now, you can double roster some of these kids. So there could be kids on the freshmen that can be double rostered to play up with the juniors, or the juniors to the seniors. And mainly that situation would be as if you got somebody that's pretty good at the freshman level that needs a little bit of development, and then maybe they kind of take that jump and it's time, then okay. But we like to do that because of injuries, number one. Freshmen aren't playing. The juniors need an extra arm. Hey, there's an extra arm. I like it because I try to double roster my better arms from the junior level.
Yes.
And then we don't like to bother with them until we get to district playoffs.
Sure.
It's kind of a hot fire to throw them into. Hey, there's more people than you're used to seeing, and this is a lot more of an intense moment.
See the 6'4",
let's see what you got.
225-pound guy?
So,
my other question about that with this is
we did play that a couple weekends ago. Dad was 6'10", and kid was already 13. He was already about 6'5".
Wow. Oh, wow.
I am 12.
And it was
Randy Johnson's cousin.
Jeez. How do you handle that biggest portion of, okay, so you've got a freshman that say a great left-handed pitcher could really pitch for you at the senior team. Do you let him play down and then, or you maybe let him play and move him up to junior, and then at postseason time bring him up as a quality left-handed pitcher that you maybe really think is going to benefit you in postseason? I mean, how do you handle that situation?
Wait. Before you answer, ask him what he does with his point guards. But go ahead.
Ouch.
Well,
here we go.
That question there, I mean, it depends. There's a lot to that question. First of all, what kind of secondary pitches does that kid have? Because I don't care if he throws 80, he comes to the senior level and he has one pitch, he's going to get murdered.
Completely.
So,
yes.
Not literally.
Not literally, but he's going to get hit around the ball yard if he doesn't.
We don't want anybody not to play.
So, I mean,
safe.
you got to look at that. You got to look at how's his demeanor. Is he a kid that can handle the pressure? Because there's a lot of talented kids that are younger that may not have been pushed before in other levels, and it's because the game has come easy to them and they have not faced adversity.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of another factor. We don't, as far as making a jump that far, that would be pretty tough unless it's a really, really special situation. But most of the time they're going to move freshman to junior or junior to senior. But you've got a pretty good idea if they can play at that level or not. But if you got just an absolute stud of a freshman, there's a chance they could be up with the seniors to begin with. I would rather in that situation that a kid that could play at that level to start there, so he gets the experience instead of it's kind of hard to throw a 14, 15-year-old into the fire and be like, all right, good luck.
Well, that's got to be difficult, too, with the whole tryout aspect. If you're having tryouts in August and you're having an entire school year of development. I mean, these kids are growing. Some of them are probably hitting puberty. They're getting in the weight room. They might be a completely different person by the time season rolls around.
Absolutely.
No steroids.
Wait,
Come on now.
no.
I knew that was coming.
I didn't say that.
I knew that was coming.
In my experience, there's always been a lot of baseball kids who are like, weight room. I don't want to go there. Well, my trainer says I shouldn't go to the weight room. I'm like, shut your damn mouth and get in the weight room. You're going to lift.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying.
And I think that the biggest thing with summer and how many are you guys stipulated to how many games you can play? Or is it an open?
Well, I mean, we're in a 7-week window here. So, I mean, we're scheduled for 40 games right now on a 7-week time frame, and that's pretty much maxed out. I mean, that's
a lot of baseball
to manage your arms. A lot of them are doubleheaders, but to manage your arm, and that's not counting district playoffs. So to manage your arms and be in a position where you need to be without burning everybody out and just totally screwing yourselves, that's pretty maxed out. Other teams have played more than that. Less teams play 30, 35. That's probably a sweet spot there. But it's really maxed out by you start right about this week, next week, and then we're the second, third week in July is when playoffs are. And then you know if you win districts and you go to zone, then you've got zone, then you're going on to other stuff. Yeah.
So I think the last question I have for you is, what is I know you coached high school baseball compared to Legion. What do you feel is the biggest challenge in coaching a high school baseball team compared to a summer Legion team? What is the biggest challenge for you as a coach?
And you can't say parents.
No, I'm not going to say parents. I'm going to keep that one. I would say the style of the situation, because we have more control of, hey, when we have a meeting, and I tell them up front, look, we're going to try to run this somewhat close to a college program. So once your kid steps through that dugout, the doorway there. He's ours.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, we're not discussing playing time, because look, if your kid's not playing, there's a reason.
There's a reason. I agree.
It's either attitude, you're not doing what you're not willing to do what you need to do, or you've been given the opportunities and you just haven't come through.
Sure.
So we try to establish that up front, and so far in the last 4 years we haven't had issues with that because the communication's clear. I think the difference with high school is, Legion, you get to pick. High school in a situation like Grandview, and Zach can tell you this, you've got a lot of kids. You may not have a lot of kids, so you have to almost take, and some of them kids back to, they've never been coached. They've never had anything developed, so it makes it a lot tougher, so that you almost have to not go at the speed you want to go with. I'm trying to say this the right way.
Sure.
You can't go the speed that you can go with Legion. And you can Legion, you hit the ground running and you're full speed ahead. It's just high school is can be a little bit more development on some stuff, especially at the senior level. Now the freshman level, that's pretty comparative to high school, and the junior level to some extent.
Okay. Well, it's because, and I speak from my experience at Grandview, we always had kids who never played before.
Yeah. Right.
They may have been athletes. They may have played 4 or 5 years ago, and they want to play. They want to be with their friends.
Sure.
And it seems to be, the right fielder who somehow gets hit, I don't know how many freaking fly balls.
Baseball always finds them.
It does. Yeah. And he never catches them, but at the same time, it's part of the game, and it's part of what you have to deal with when you're in a small high school.
Yes.
So I agree with that.
So you have a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid that wants to play baseball year-round. What do you tell him at that age?
Year-round, I would say don't do it.
Okay.
I would say you need to take time to be a kid and play as many sports as you can play. Mainly because some kids get really obsessed with one thing, and I think they focus too much on it, and they get to the point where a lot of college people that we talk to that are recruiters, they ask, one of the first questions they ask, how many sports do they play?
Yeah.
So then you get in a situation, well, he just plays basketball. Okay, well, why doesn't he play another sport if he's a good athlete? So that's my answer to it. I'm not a huge fan of the year-round thing. Kids got to be kids. I know some people see it differently, but they need to take time and go fishing or go do whatever. And and I think that goes back to a lot of these other leagues. They've really preached this year-round thing, and got to be in the cages, and got to be working out, and got to be doing this. And the worst thing that I see is a lot of them pushing. You need to be throwing, and you need to be building your arm. Your arm. You're at a tender stage in growth that you need to let that arm rest for a while. And that's why I like, hey, if you're going to play baseball in the spring and summer, go play football or basketball. Get your mind off that so you're not 100% burnt out and you're refreshed and ready to go.
Cool. Good. I don't have anything else questions.
Well, hey,
Coach.
Sean, I want to thank you for coming on and being a part of our train wreck that we call the Coach's Box.
This has been great. How old is Albert Pujols?
41.
49.
How old is he really?
52.
52.
That's the question.
I wonder if there's
the real question is, why is he not wearing a daggum Cardinal uniform?
Hey, you could have had Matt Carpenter and Albert Pujols coming off the bench. I mean, that would have really been.
You could have DFA'd Carpenter.
Yes, you could have.
And you could have signed Pujols for league minimum.
Lacking.
420,
I think. It was less than 500.
420.
470. 470.
Mo's smoking some 420.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, Sean, thank you for being on the show.
Yep.
Yes.
It's good seeing you.
Yep.
You're watching the Coach's Box on Livestream STL. When we come back, we're going to dive into some other stuff, so it should be pretty interesting considering how this night's going. See you guys.
Hey, Ray Halbrook here with Livestream STL. We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Do us a huge favor. Check out our brand new website, livestreamstl.tcom. There you'll see plenty of information about your schools, articles about different games and whatnot, and we appreciate you checking that out. Do us a huge favor also. We'd really like for you to mention Livestream STL to your athletic directors and superintendents. Tell them you want us in there to bring high value to your school. We'd appreciate that. And thanks again for watching tonight's broadcast.
You know, I do this for the love of the kids. I do it for the love of the coaches and the ADs because there's not enough high school coverage in the St. Louis area. There's just not. Once again, I get to keep my relationships with, you know, guys like you and a lot of the other great coaches and administrators and former athletes. And that's one of the cool things that we're going to do here, too, is, you know, I've been fortunate covering some great coaches and great kids, but, you know, the caravan is, you know, I wasn't letting it die. And sure enough, we're here now, and you know, the reboot is in full effect.
And I'll say real quick, you know, I really admire what you guys do with this. I think everybody who's ever tuned into one of these, whether it's a Legion game, whether it's a high school baseball game, with basketball, football, whatever it is, I've heard nothing but tremendous feedback about Livestream STL and what you guys do and the quality of production, things like that. I would really encourage anybody who's involved in athletics throughout the county, or really anywhere in the metro area, anybody who's interested in sponsoring activities to get on board and get involved with this. I think it's added a ton to what we do here. It's added a ton to the program. You guys are a class act. You're committed to doing things the right way, and we really appreciate that.
Guys, I've always wanted to ask you this since you're both pitchers. What's your favorite pitch? It's a fastball? Okay, I know. It's a curveball. No? Okay, well, what's your favorite pitch? Oh, yeah. Spitball.
The Main Street Sports Show. You never know what we're going to throw at you.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
A family atmosphere.
any place to watch your local sport teams.
Come out to La Pechanga.
Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonter.
Come out to La Pechanga.
And we are back for our third round here of the Coach's Box as we get things together here for the guys. And Chris Miller, what direction are we going in here?
You don't want to know.
South. It is headed south.
We gone.
Jarvis has left the building again.
He's got to go to the doctor or something, man.
Well, listen, he ain't had to stay after school. And were you outside cutting grass today? Your face is freaking red. Are you sunburnt?
Got a lot of sun. He's at that baseball game yesterday.
Gosh. If you're going to get that much sun, you got to let the guns show a little bit, don't you?
Well, I watched Valley pound a few over the fence. And
how was the Mizzou recruit? Legit?
I don't even know which one it was.
All right.
Probably the guy who pounded him over the fence.
No, there was only one home run. Dude, seriously, we were 2 or 3 plays away from that not being the way it was.
Read the article, some about 2 outs and a couple errors here and there.
Well, we should have had a double play, and it should have been 2-0 going into the second inning.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a bad throw from second to first, and then
all hell broke loose.
Well, then Valley put some on us, and it was next thing you know. After we started out 2-0, then it was 8-2. But then we came back and put up 2 more, so it was 8-4. But then the next inning they put up
6.
It wasn't 6 because they didn't 10-run rules until the 5th. But dude, Valley's a quality team, and they got some hitters. And
they always have great.
I'll tell you right now.
teams.
We're talking about weight room. That's called weight room. You
That's
see those guys?
what they
I'm gonna
do.
tell you. We had our
football runs
I'm going to
everything
chime
down
in
there.
on this, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm just saying. We even had we had a practice game down with the River Dogs, who 13
The
years.
River Dogs are-
and they're Valley and St. John.
They're
It's
good.
that-
They're
anyway,
good in
so we played
baseball.
Had a couple Valley kids, and I think they might have been JV kids that came over and helped ump, and they did an excellent job. But you still see those guys, and they're still boom, boom.
Well, if you would have
know.
seen our game against Valley, and you look at our athletes and you look at theirs, and it's a difference. I mean, it's a difference. I mean, those kids are lifting every day at 6 in the morning.
The other thing is, too, now.
So we're going to go off a tangent, which is fine, because this is a topic that needs to be discussed.
I mean, you can be country strong, too, where you're out damn
No,
field doing some stuff. Now, there's some kids out
Right.
there who have, live on a farm.
These guys,
Do they?
They're not all those Valley kids.
I didn't
are
say all
out
of them.
on a farm.
But I'll tell you right now, it makes a difference when you're used to doing that. Plus, you're in the weight room.
I
doing
agree.
I'm going to
stuff.
tell you, you just go look at some of those pictures of these kids. I don't care
Oh,
if it's
no.
basketball, if it's football,
They're
if it's
freaking men.
track. You see, go look at their sprinters that
And
are
football.
going. Well, obviously football, but just
They're men playing with boys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's the same kids. Like, I'm sitting there watching the game, and there's Hogue, who lit us up in basketball, and then he's hitting the crap out of the ball in baseball. So, yeah, they have a tradition. They get in the weight room, and it shows in all sports.
I'm pretty sure that they have to play 3 sports to go to that school.
Well, it's not. Carter, I don't think he played football.
Oh, he didn't? Well, you at least got to play 2.
He's an absolute
I'm kind of
stud.
pretty sure that's kind
Well,
of
I
the
think
deal.
I remember Vincent back in the day when I was in high school. They said that the kids had to do some type of
There's at least,
sport.
I think it's 2.
Yeah.
That's 2.
That's why they had 100 kids on the football team.
There you
It
go.
was a 1A school, 2A school, and they had 180 kids. 80
But I
plus
mean,
kids.
it's just, and I'm not saying it's all schools in Jefferson County, because there's some that hit the weights. But I mean, you look at a Valley team and you put them up against any of the small schools in Jefferson County, and
Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, I got to get a quick plug in here. If you haven't filled out the form for a $20 gift certificate to La Pachanga, there's something wrong with you.
What's wrong with
you? You need to have
you?
your head checked. Someone needs to slap the hell out of you, hit you in the head with a tap hammer. Get on there right now. We have had some people who figured out that I was calling them out. We've got 10 people on there right now.
10.
Is my wife one of them?
Yeah.
She is.
Doesn't
I think.
count, though.
I was
You
getting
will.
ready to text her.
Doesn't count.
Just take her.
Yes,
off
she
the
is
list.
good. I was going to text
But
her.
hey,
and say,
get on
So,
there right now and do that. But
other local, so Vincent's out. I think they lost
wait,
Monday.
we got a matchup between
got
R7 and St.
Pius.
Pius.
Yeah, I
tomorrow.
saw that.
District
Tomorrow.
title.
Yeah.
Weather permitting. I don't know if we'll get that
Good God, close
Come
the
on,
door.
Raymond.
Close the door.
Raymond.
Man,
it's windy in here tonight.
gee whiz. What in the
It's that mariachi band playing, man. I don't know.
people going in and out of this place. people coming in here, getting some Brothers Pizza. Hey, so we got
Nice job, Duncan.
so we got district championship. That should be a fun one.
I think Crystal City, are they playing
Yes.
in a district,
Yeah,
district
they're
title
on
game?
district championship too.
Who are they playing?
Well, they beat Crossroads.
School. Never mind.
Oh, I knew
School
that
of
was
the
good.
Osage.
School of the Osage. Is that what it is?
Now I got to look it up.
Now, yeah, but I
Look
think
it
they're
up.
playing. All the Class 5, I think they're still, because they got rained out
Yeah.
down south.
All the
Other than that, I think
Hillsboro.
maybe Class 4 they might be done. I know St. John and Valley are playing for their Class 4 district title. I don't know about Festus, DeSoto. I think
They're running
DeSoto.
down there with Farmington.
Okay, so they all
Yeah.
got washed out. So they're maybe going to play.
Soto Hillsboro's playing tomorrow, and
Yes.
You know what? While we're looking that up here, we talk about timeout tirades and all this. We're
Do we?
all coaches. Let's. How much sense
None.
does this make?
A lot.
Okay, heard this on the radio. So in one of the districts, Cape Central is going to play Cape Notre Dame head to head, right? in a district game.
Yeah.
They have to travel, I think, up to either Hillsboro or somewhere up in this area to play against each other. That is the most asinine thing that is so ridiculous.
So
whether
I
it's,
guess we're going to jump into the controversial topic real quick.
Well,
we are.
I don't know if we were doing that. I just thought I heard that on the radio, and I thought, how goofy.
I don't know.
We have this all the time.
I went to St. Vincent and had to play R7. I mean, what the hell?
Why?
That
Why?
was a tournament. That was a tournament.
Why? Well,
I mean, so were we going to say that in the first 1 or 2 rounds of a district, and you need to let the home team host?
That's fine.
Like what we did this year.
I didn't mind that.
I
thought it was fine. Here's the thing, though. We've since 08-09 when the market crashed and all of that, schools have been, they've been crying poor, and rightfully so, right?
Because they're poor.
Because they're poor. Then why can't we sit here and have enough common sense to say, oh, Festus is playing Hillsboro, go play at DeSoto.
Well,
you don't have to travel down to Cape. You don't have to travel up into the city. You're 5 miles apart. Go find a neutral site.
So my question is why can't you do this? Depending on what district you fall into, because we all know there's rubber bands and blind squirrels and throwing darts, pin the tail on the donkey.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have a district like that they might as well play each other. Why can't you in a seed meeting? We've all been in district seed meetings as coaches. When the first round matchups come out, and let's say that you have teams on it that all end up having to drive if we're having a neutral location for basketball. Let's use basketball. Right. And
I was going to say,
it would make more sense for 2 of these teams that are over on this side just to go ahead and play each other. Why can't we just say the home team just plays hosts the game?
Right.
We'll give the split that's required for Misha for the host school, because that's what it really comes down to.
Is it coming down to money again?
It always comes down to money.
Oh, my goodness.
Always.
You give them their split, they get the gate, they get all that, whatever.
You're talking the players and the umpires or officials or referees. That's it.
Okay.
That's all that matters. And I would be willing to bet somebody, like Charles, would he rather, Festus Hillsboro, would he rather go to DeSoto, or would he have to go all the way down to Cape to umpire a ball game?
So what I'm saying is you have the option of taking advantage of the neutral site or doing that and giving the split that's required to the host school. I think that would be the better option based on geography, based on district assignments, because let's face it, in some cases, not all, Misha can't help who goes where to try to have some sort of balance. I didn't say
they could do a better job.
I'm not saying it's
right.
No, trust me. Okay, I'm not going to
Erwan
say
needs to watch.
Okay, but I think that would be a very valid thing, that if they had that option to do that, coaches would be able to take advantage of it. It would make more sense. And if we're talking about it being, if it's about kids and the school and education,
it doesn't even need to be a coach's decision. That should be a principal. That should be a superintendent.
Yeah.
That's common sense to say, my kids aren't going to be out 2 hours or 90 minutes away on a Monday night.
Yeah.
True.
When we can go 5 minutes down the road.
Hold on.
Wait for it.
You just said common sense.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Do you have that?
I
Somebody
do.
have that?
Here, we can get Thomas Payne's pamphlet. You know what I'm talking about.
That's social studies, Blair.
That's social studies.
I always tell the freshmen every year, I'm like, Thomas Paine, it's something that none of you freshmen have. And somebody will go, common sense. I'm like, yep.
Yay.
Dun, dun,
But I don't. Why
I
is
thought
that
you
not a
said
thing?
Sam Page, really.
Oh,
that was out loud.
That was out loud. But I don't I mean,
Hey, he
I
did
don't
get rid of the
understand why
mask
that's
mandate.
not.
It's after the Attorney General
I
filed.
heard Jefferson College, no mask.
Yes.
Jefferson County.
No,
Jefferson
College. No mask.
Hey,
At all.
Correct.
Not even if you're vaccinated or not.
Hey, in
Correct. Doesn't matter.
Florida, if a school tries to impose a mask mandate, they get fined $1,000. Governor DeSantis strikes again.
There we go.
All right, anyway.
You can't ask.
All right. Anyway,
Politics.
that was my.
Sorry, we got.
Well, we could talk about another political issue in
Sure
Missouri.
we could,
but we can table that for another one.
All right, so
Next week.
anyway,
What,
let's
shot clock? Oh,
No,
my bad.
open enrollment.
Oh,
That's happened.
screw
That's
up.
next week's show.
Hey.
After Zach Bones.
So did anybody catch the hocky game last night?
I actually watched.
Oh my
a little
God!
bit.
A
little bit.
Oh my gosh! And did you
A
know
little
anything
bit.
about it?
Yes, I'll tell you what I noticed.
Oh, God.
I noticed
Wait
that
for it.
Colorado
Yeah.
is a lot faster than
Yes.
St. Louis.
Just not seeing that.
I'm just saying, it's first 4 or 5 minutes of
You know what
hockey.
I noticed?
Yeah.
Bennington standing on top of his head and a bunch of Blues being pansies.
Explain to me. Okay. Explain this to me. I'm a GM. I'm a coach. I'm an owner. I'm fining you $1,000 plus if you get a penalty in the playoffs.
Why?
Because what's going to happen? Hello, how did they score?
Well,
power play goal. You need whatever 5
Well,
on 5.
they said it. If you listen to the announcers, as soon as he got done standing on his head, and he goes, "You cannot." One announcer, "You can't take a penalty there." Bennington just stands on his head, and you're going to take a penalty? He made that kick save he made.
Yeah.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
But here's my other, being a stat guy, 50-some-odd shots to 25.
Does that show you?
Tarasenko sucks ball.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Explain this to me.
There was your
how your. I felt like I was watching a 1-8. I felt like I was watching a 1-8 matchup in basketball where the 1 seed's always pressing the 8 seed, and they never get the ball across half court.
You got to understand the top line. The top line for Colorado. By the way, they won the President's Trophy, and that means they were the best team in the league.
Okay.
I don't care. It's not an excuse.
I agree with that, but their top line is. Freaking amazing.
Okay.
Nathan McKinnon is probably the best player in hockey.
How much do they play?
And they missed
how many minutes
goal.
do they play? They play in 60 minutes?
If the Blues.
No.
Exactly. How many
minutes? It doesn't
minutes?
matter. Their shift, when those guys come out, their shift comes out, and it's time for them to go play.
Right.
There isn't anybody in the league who can match up to those guys. Their whole defense is the Blues defense. They shouldn't even worry about shooting the puck when those guys are out there. They need to just try to keep them from scoring.
Can you just stand in front of the net?
They missed a wide open net too.
Yeah, they did. That was a wide open net.
Start with an R. The guy that missed it.
Rantanen,
yeah.
But the Blues tried to set a tone. Shen comes out there and he blasted. He blasted. I can't remember the guy's name. And then Landeskog's like, no, we're not doing that, and that's when he just went at it, and Landeskog beat the hell out of him, in my opinion.
But the Blues are not physical.
Not enough.
Not like they were 2 years ago when they won the Cup.
Okay, what's the difference? Explain to me the difference.
You can't get shots off if somebody's forecheck is really good.
The difference?
And you can't keep the puck in the zone.
The difference, Petrangelo.
Okay.
The difference,
Bouwmeester.
Perron.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot of differences.
So this is a GM?
No, I mean.
I'm just saying it's a different team. I mean, our defensemen are not the same as they were back in the Cup days. They weren't.
No.
What's different? I don't know. I'm asking you.
I said Cup days.
Physicality.
The year they won the Cup.
Falk and Crew are not.
No.
They're not as physical as Bouwmeester.
He said Falk.
And Petrangelo.
It sounded close, but it was Falk.
They're not as physical. They do not play the same way. They're more offensive minded. But the problem is again, you can't keep the puck in the zone. They keep clearing it back, so you can't get shots off. Now, the one Tarasenko had has to be put in that biscuit's got to get put in the basket.
But that's the only shot he had.
I know.
He sucks.
Well, O'Reilly did he even have a shot?
So
I don't care. I'll take O'Reilly 100 million times over freaking Tarasenko.
I'll relate this to basketball. I felt like I was watching Colorado. Any time that they could get the puck onto the other side, it was like it was a 3-on-2 break.
Yeah, they're really good at doing that.
But when the Blues were trying to score, they always had 2 defensemen back. Colorado did. Where were our guys? I don't understand.
Well,
are they that much faster?
Yes. They're that much better. Wait a minute. They're better. They're a better team. If the Blues win this, they had to play like if this is your best game and you had to do this to win, you had to play like up here.
But didn't they split the series this year 2-2?
Does it matter though in a weird year like this?
I don't know. I'm not the hockey guy.
I'm just going by what O'Reilly said. The Blues are winning.
Well, I mean, what is he supposed to say? Well, we're going to try.
Well, I want him.
He's the captain.
So going forward, what do you guys? What do you do?
I try to find somebody who's infected with COVID and have him go and hang out with
some
them.
wings.
Colorado.
Pull the Michael Jordan wings. And some pizza. Some wings.
I think it's Colorado and 4.
Colorado and 4.
I think
straight sweep.
Yep.
I think it's in 5.
4 or 5.
Oh, you're gonna say the Blues are gonna come back and win it?
No. It's going to be in 7. It's going to go 7.
Who's winning?
What?
No, you can't pull that.
Wait,
no.
is the date 420? Is it 420?
Hey,
that's already
wait. Who's winning?
We're almost a month past that.
Zach,
it's May 18th.
Zach, this is the first hockey game you've ever watched. Who do you think is winning the series?
After the 5-6 minutes that I watched, unless Bennington saves 60 a night, the other team.
Well, Bennington.
How many games are they going to last? What's the
Bennington
series
can
gonna be?
turn it on
Probably
real
5.
quick.
Because I think Colorado's like, our best players will sit you and rest you a game.
All right, Blair. So who's winning?
In 7?
Yeah.
Colorado.
7.
Colorado in
So
7.
what do the Blues need to do
So
going
you
forward?
suck for even bringing it up.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the problem is the Blues don't play well at home.
Well, they were playing in Colorado, weren't they?
And my point of it is they
They'll
don't
play
play
well.
well.
Hey, nothing else you say is going to make.
Here's
Where's
what's
that
gonna
common
happen.
sense? Where's that pamphlet?
No, here's
Okay,
what's
go
going to
ahead.
happen. Okay,
You know who Thomas Paine is.
the Blues are going to completely do the opposite of what they did 2 years ago when they won the Cup. They are going to play well at home, but they cannot play on the road because they don't have leadership. They don't have that mean, tough guy like Pat Maroon that was come out there as a hometown guy that
They miss Maroon.
loved
I agree.
playing in that atmosphere, and I think that's going to be a big challenge for them. I don't think they're going to play well on the road because those guys aren't used to
Do
that.
they have a
physicality.
guy that they just can get on the ice right away and just, find their best guy and just beat him up? Or
Well, they tried that.
They
and
tried
Shane
that,
got the
and
hell
he got
beat
his
out of
ass
him.
It didn't
kicked.
work?
Ryan Reeves
Didn't work
does not
that
play
well.
for them anymore.
I got nothing.
So, the funny thing is playoff hockey. You say you got to play heavy, which means you got to be really physical.
Okay.
But you also have to have speed.
I just you got to catch up to them to do
Because
that,
last
right?
year the Blues looked really slow compared to the Vancouver Canucks, and they got beat because
The-
those guys were faster.
The only time that I saw the Blues in playoff, because I've seen a couple games here and there when I watched the Stanley Cup
He
game.
knows crap about hockey.
They looked faster than Boston.
Yeah, but and then again, Colorado has this great mix of being really physical and really, really fast.
Okay.
So, it's
Could I chime in on this?
I guess if you want.
I was waiting for the Blues guy.
If they win Game 2,
They're winning it.
you're
going
saying
7.
there's a chance. That's
going
all
7.
I ask.
Listen,
if they win Game 2,
It's not a series until someone wins a road game.
That's what
That's
they said
right.
on the radio today.
No, it's
right?
100%. It's
what it is.
old truth.
got to win Game 2 though.
Because, if you're going to win a series, you have to win a road game probably, unless you're the home team.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
All
Okay. All right. Whatever. So the fun news that I know we were all, messaging back and forth on the national
Go ahead.
stage.
You tell them what I said.
And
They ain't getting any of my money.
And Zach says that the Cardinals will never get another damn. He didn't say
I
damn.
am.
I say a damn dime. That's how to give it for effect.
Right.
Is because they have a chance to pick up.
What did he do his first
Albert
time?
Pujols.
What did he do?
He
Our
had-
game-winning
Can I
RBI. No.
I'll finish what I had to say.
No.
I'm reading a script that I just
No.
made
You're
in my
gonna spill
head.
you're gonna
Yeah,
spill your
just
sweet tea.
They have a chance to sign
Unsweet
Pujols
tea.
at
Mo
$420,000.
Zalek, I wouldn't
Easy.
pee on him.
I've already used that comment tonight. And
Mute him.
they had a chance, league minimum,
Yeah.
put fans in the stands,
Yeah.
and Pujols is a Dodger.
Yeah.
And go.
He's wearing blue. He does not look right blue. I don't care if the LA is the same as the
Can you
other
turn my
dirty
mic down,
LA.
Greg?
No. Let me go. He's our Albert. He's no one else's. He didn't even want to go play for Matheny. Gosh damn it. I am mad. I'm not buying the ticket.
Kyle Boers on the
I'm
line.
with you.
Hi, Kyle. How are
Me
you?
and McVay are not buying
This is the
Cardinals
first time-
tickets.
First time we've agreed on anything, right?
We are not falling forward. And Mo Zalek and his little crony under him, and then DeWallet
His
all can suck off.
His name is Gersh. His name is Gersh.
Hey, I
The
love
show
this
is
comment.
hit a new low.
I love
Yeah.
this comment from
Yeah,
Colton
right
Wong.
here. This
From who?
This is
Colton
Colt
Wong.
Yeah.
Tornado. Sad I left, but bro, you're gonna
Effing love it.
love it. Colton Wong said to Arenado.
Yeah.
Yeah,
statement.
Colton Wong didn't want to
That's
leave.
another-
We
no.
didn't show him any love either.
Nope.
D. Wallet sucks.
Hey, wasn't Wong hitting like third or fourth for the Brewers the other day?
He's doing well.
He was hitting third.
Yeah, and
the views of the show.
Why are we talking about Wong? I want to talk about
STL.
Pujols.
I know.
He game-winning RBI first game.
Yeah.
Hey, Goldschmidt's at the bat right now.
I don't give a shit about Goldschmidt. I want Albert Pujols and birds on the bat.
When we get a DH next year, maybe we'll sign him.
That maybe
I already heard that bull crap.
The only
glad you refrained right there.
Wow. Oh my goodness! The only way we would get a DH is if Stan Kroenke was the Cardinals owner, and then somehow he would have it in the MLB.
Tears. I have Pujols tears.
Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
Well,
there is.
We're not talking baseball anymore.
Pujols should be wearing red. He should have a bat and 2 birds, and he should be flipping the bird to the Dodgers.
Kyle Bohr wants to know, can we mute Coach Jarvis?
It's not possible. Well, it is possible. Ray is the doer of all.
He gone.
He's gone now.
Oh,
just so I could get this in real quick. Hold on. Kevin Holly is correct. We have now went to PG-13 rating.
No
more family
keep
friendly.
going down. He says we're rated R now.
Radar.
Rated R.
No,
I said
Jarvis,
SHIT.
Jarvis has
come
not
on.
dropped an F-bomb yet. That's the next
I won't
Kyle Bohr
And now we
over
gotta-
under.
I'm not going to drop the F-bomb.
Bohr says we need to mute McVay for bringing up Kroenke, period.
And you haven't even got me
That's what I
on Stan Kroenke.
Oh, my God.
Why does everyone crap on St. Louis? ESPN, you suck.
So let's go to a break, and we're going to come back with some trivia.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how mad is Coach Jarvis?
Yeah,
His face is red.
11. 11. It goes up to 11.
Your next segment is brought to you by La Pachanga and
La
Herculaneum.
Pachanga, here it is.
Come
La
join
Pachanga.
us.
I won't fill out the form. Where's Pujols?
Wow. 1185 Scenic Drive right here where we're
Fill
at
out
right
the
now.
form.
Don't forget to fill out the form as well. 636-475-4888, lapachangamex.com. You are watching the Coach's Box. We're going to have to regroup, and we will be right back.
I wonder what Coach Jarvis is up to.
Jason! Jason! What's up? What's up? Bah! Oh, hang on a minute. I got a call from Blair. What's up?
What am I doing? I'm sitting here watching the Coach's Box.
This must be the wrong number.
What's
This live stream SDL has been a huge asset for Jefferson County sports, in my opinion. I mean, getting these athletes the camaraderie that they're out there and people can see them. I mean, to be honest with you, I got a call from a coach yesterday about one of my athletes that said that they saw some of her games on live stream SDL.
Awesome.
So, I mean, that right there instilled to me that this is important. You know, this is important for those kids. And so, you know, I think it's great, and I wish you guys the best. You know, and if you're out there and you want to sponsor, this is a great opportunity for you know, kids to support kids of our local kids and get them support and get them acknowledgement out there, because we have a lot of great athletes in this county.
We appreciate that. And at the end of the day, our mission is much the same as your missions, coaches, to help shine a light on these kids and get them exposure and get their name out there and help them. And if they can advance, they're better off, we're better off as a community, and that's why we're here.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
A family atmosphere.
any place to watch your local sport teams. Come out to La Pachangas.
Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and One Third.
Come out to La Pachanga.
I'm about to get teed up. What? I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. Are you kidding me? You're throwing me out of a summer league game? I'm not Riley Blair. I'm not going anywhere. Shoot the free throws. Shoot the cops. Join us. Coach's Box, 7 p.m. live from Lopachenko. Tuesday night. See you there.
Hey, this is Chris Miller, and you're watching the Coach's Box on Livestream STL, the best sports streaming show there is on Facebook.
And we are back with our final segment here. We're going right straight into trivia, Mr. Miller. Is that the plan there?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Give our sponsor.
Who's this sponsored by, Blair?
Well, this segment is sponsored by La Pachanga here in Herculaneum. Get all your Mexican needs for food, drinks,
Did he just say
and fun. Join us here on Tuesday nights for the Coach's Box. Always a good time.
He just said Mexican needs.
That's
I mean,
it.
what?
Mexican food needs.
Do we have
Drinks,
Mexican
food?
needs?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, I need Mexican food.
Food,
I like
drinks,
I mean,
and fun.
Your Mexican needs.
Food,
Hey, Ray.
drinks, and
Yeah.
It's
fun.
Cranium Cup Trivia time. Start the music!
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Now!
Wow, that's loud.
What's the category?
Grab bag.
Grab bag. Potpourri.
Potpourri.
I better
Potpourri.
turn this off.
For 500.
Potpourri.
Colors that end in purple.
Is it light purple?
Light purple. Name this object. Is it a toilet? All right.
Oh, my God.
You guys know the rules of the game. I don't know where the cup is. Did Blair bring it?
Blair,
oh, yeah,
he's got us somewhere
Yeah,
here.
it's
It doesn't
over
really
here.
matter.
Trust me, I brought it.
That's
You
all right.
brought
It,
it.
it was kept in Black Cat Land.
No,
That's what
well,
I'm
I mean-
saying.
And it'll be another week.
It was in
Bring back
Pepsi
that.
Land more than it was in Black Cat Land this week.
No, it was Black Cat Land more.
The rule is it has to go on your desk or somewhere to represent in your school.
Well, there was a week that I wanted
it has to
on
end
my
up in the
desk.
trophy case.
In the trophy
Our
case.
school that you
Well, it'll be alongside of about 35 cross-country state championships, if that's the case.
You guys got 35. Wow. You tried
Hey,
to-
a little district championship for the girls.
Girls track team,
Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We didn't talk about that.
props. All right.
For them.
Let's go.
Question number 1.
That's who we should have got.
Hey, are you
Coach
paying
Davis.
attention?
I tried.
Coach Davis.
I won't read these again.
Maybe in 2 weeks.
Feel like a kid in class.
I'm listening.
Question number 1.
You give me a pen that doesn't even have a marker.
Oh, my gosh.
Jarvis.
In
And
all,
look at it. Look how little it is.
Jarvis is going on
you
assignment.
shut the hell up.
He
so I
gone.
can do this.
He gone.
Jeez,
In
Lord.
all the 4 professional major sports, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NHL.
Hey, Kevin, notice soccer is not mentioned.
Not one of the four major
Not
sports.
one of the four major
Right.
sports. Soccer sucks. Go.
Moving on.
Only 2 expansion franchises have made the championship finals of their sports in their first season of existence.
Oh.
The St. Louis Blues were the first to do it in 1967-68. What was the second franchise to do it?
Oh.
A, Chicago Bulls. B, Vegas Golden Knights. C, Arizona Diamondbacks. D, Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Bulls.
One
Golden Knights.
or one or went.
Went. None of them have ever won.
Cardinals won 5-2, by the way.
Hey.
Showing your answer to the other kid in class.
Oh. Golden Knights.
Bulls,
is not
Golden
my answer.
Knights, Diamondbacks, Dolphins. I need your answers now.
I think it is.
I think it's
tonight.
Right now.
I want to say Diamondbacks.
Wait a minute. What do you got there?
Golden Knights.
Okay, let me
B
put
is
it. A,
Golden
Bulls, B,
B,
Golden
Vegas.
Knights.
It's supposed to say Golden Knights.
But you got C.
Oh, I got B. I went in the wrong order. I'm
I'm
used to
just
not do
I'm
that.
trying to make sure
That's
that
the
you got
kid.
this.
That's the kid that
What?
does this in the true false. That does the true false.
You're all correct. It is the Vegas Golden Knights.
Hey, we're all in it.
Yay.
We're all winners.
All
We're all winners.
Question number 2. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence was the #1 pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars.
He was.
We're not talking about Tim Tebow here. Who is the Jags' all-time leader in career passing yards?
I know it.
A, Byron Leftwich.
Leftwich.
B, David Garrard. C, whatever. C, Mark Brunell. D, Blake Bortles. Leftwich, Gerard, Brunell, Bortles.
Go.
What does that say?
Brunel.
Pujols.
The answer is C, Mark Brunell. You're all correct.
Oh man.
You guys like crab bag.
Hey, 3 for 3.
You should do for 2. Pick the one in the middle, Jarvis. Pick the one in the middle.
I said 3 for 3 because it was C, the third choice.
All right.
Isn't this question number 2, though?
I know. I was
Question
wrong.
number 3.
That's right. We're going 3 for 3 here.
Huey Jennings, who played
Foreshadowing.
from 1891. Shut up. Wait for it.
What?
Shut up. Wait for it. 1891 to 1918 holds the career Major League Baseball record for most times hit by pitch with 287. Who finished 3 away from breaking that record when they retired? A, Jason Kendall. B, Chase Utley. C, Don Baylor. D, Craig Biggio. Kendall, Utley, Baylor, Biggio.
I think it's
Almost broke it. Almost broke it.
I don't know if that's the right answer or not, but we'll
I
see.
can't. I mean, who are you showing him for?
We all went Biggio, didn't we?
You all went Biggio. You're all correct.
Woo!
Woo! 3. Now it's 3. Now it's 3 for 3.
Now they're for
What?
Hey,
I don't want anybody to see me.
You can
Now
count. You
it's
can count
3.
now, Jarvis. You can count.
3 for
We got 3.
We are 3 for 3.
Question number 4, and everybody is tied.
Wow, this has never happened.
This has never happened.
Ever.
Ever. Like ever.
In 61 weeks.
Grab bag week.
Question number 4. NBA players have a reputation for complaining about officiating.
No.
High school?
So do St. Pius head coaches. Why you fly me the bird?
I didn't. I was showing you you're number 1 in my heart.
Number 1 in Chris's
What
heart.
NBA player holds the record for most technical fouls in their career?
Do I even need a choice?
Sure, if you want. A, Karl Malone.
Oh, yeah.
B, Gary the Glove Payton. C, Sir Charles Barkley. D, Rasheed Wallace.
Oh man.
I think I know it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to knock somebody out. It's going
Is
to.
it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, don't tell me that then.
I hate that he can see mine. I keep forgetting. He's over there. I don't know that I'm right.
What was that? What was the response again? Answers?
Oh my God! Are
Carl
you kidding?
Malone.
Malone.
Peyton.
Yeah.
Sir Chuck.
Yes.
Rashid.
Boom.
He's the only one
Confetti.
picking something different.
I got to do something
see?
different.
I can't see what you have.
Confetti. Boom, confetti.
Go out on a limb.
Carl Malone, no way.
Rasheed Wallace is not the answer.
But it's not Malone.
It's Carl Malone is the answer.
Are you serious?
He has the most technical fouls. He also played the longest out of all those guys.
I demand a recount.
He has the most technical fouls. No way.
Technical fouls.
Rodman?
Let me see that thing again. For 2 weeks.
We got to
in
fact check
a
that.
row.
We got to fact check that one.
I'm going to look it up right now because
Okay.
I call
In a row.
BS.
2 weeks in a row. Doug, you better take a picture of this. This is the bomby.
There you go. There it is. There it is.
Keep it in Black Cat land.
Here, right here.
I'll
Let me
give
put
Jarvis
Let me
in
put it
here.
right here so that you can see it.
There
it
you
is.
go. See?
Derek Harper has 121.
That's
Alonzo
not-
Mourning
nope.
has 121.
There it is.
Not even
Got your
close.
picture
None
taken.
of those guys are
Champ.
close.
The champ. 2 weeks in a
None of
row.
those guys are close.
Very nice.
Thank
There it
you,
is.
Carl Malone. Appreciate
You know, the best camera angle I can see is right here. The one that's got the cup in front of Jarvis's face.
Hey, how many times have you won it?
Ouch.
Yeah, so shut
How
up.
many times have I played, though?
Oh.
My
All here is winning percentage.
my
Yeah, but you
winning
didn't have to
percentage
play
might be a
against
little
him.
bit-
Thank you.
Listen, Carl Malone has 332 technical fouls. Charles Barkley is second with 329. Rasheed Wallace has 317. Gary Payton has 250.
Thank you.
We're
Rodman,
we're probably
212.
thinking ejections.
You're thinking of ejections.
Yeah.
I said technical fouls.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the question, class.
Oh, yeah.
Bam.
It is Carl Malone, but I would have never guessed Carl Malone.
I know, that's why I put it as a trivia question. There you go.
You knew the questions. You guys are
Oh, my God. Here
you
we
guys
go.
are thicker than thieves.
Whatever.
Hey, so next week we already have
Hey, He'll be wearing blue. It's all good.
He'll be wearing blue next week.
I don't have blue on.
No, I mean, we already got 2 pious guys, so we get a third.
Jason's just afraid of being the minority here. At the
I am
table.
not going to ever be a pious guy, probably.
But we have a special
Don't-
guest
never
next week.
say never.
We have
I
a special
said
guest.
probably.
Special guest next week,
Zach Bone.
Zach Bone,
How about
Of
that?
the head
Jefferson
The Jeff Cove
College.
coach, Jefferson
Vikings.
College
Vikings.
Vikings baseball
And
team.
the 2
And Festus 253.
The
Baseball.
Festus 253 baseball team.
Right.
He will be on the show.
There you have it.
And it'll be good stuff. We talk a little bit about college baseball along with summer baseball.
Coach Jarvis will be grilling him about,
talking about a little bit of
practice time.
Practice.
Might ask him a little bit of questions about the transition from high school baseball to college baseball and the difference in between and how you handle the different athletes and the way they are.
I'm not asking anything.
I got a lot of good questions.
We'll ask him why he got tossed last
we'll
week.
Ask him
I
some
did hear that.
This or that questions.
Oh, so Matt Brown didn't get tossed, but Bone did.
Bone did.
Oh.
Bone got tossed last
Yeah, all right. So
Brown
hey,
should have.
Hey, it's time for a little this or that. Let's hear it, Zach.
You ready?
Let's get it.
All right, here's the basketball this or that.
Well, that's
Here's your
good.
scenario.
Oh,
10 seconds left in the game.
Yep.
You got the ball.
Winners want the ball.
You taking a timeout to set something up, or are you going to play it out?
What?
How do we get the ball?
There we go.
However you want.
What's the score?
Yeah.
10 seconds.
You have to score to win.
I can already answer
Down
the
one.
question for
All right. So,
for Chris
let's
Miller.
say they hit a free throw.
Okay. Made basket.
Sure. So
10
live
seconds.
ball.
Live,
made
it's a
basket.
it's a
I'm
live
going to
ball.
timeout.
There we
It's
go.
a live ball. Okay. Live ball. 10 seconds left.
Call time
Are you taking a timeout, set something up, or are you just going to let it play out? Let your
Half
players.
court. I'm letting it go to half court, and I'm calling timeout.
Wait a minute. Or you could be in Perryville and call a timeout and get it at half court.
Yeah, that happens.
Wait, you can't advance the ball in high school?
That happens.
Wait, only in certain places.
Only at St. Vincent of Perryville.
I didn't say St. Vincent.
What do you think, Miller? What are you doing?
Let the players play.
Let the players play. That's the old Roy Williams approach.
If it's a made basket.
Wait. Why would I want the defense to set up in the half court to run a trap and have to burn another timeout, see what they're in, or you play this little chess game?
If it's a made basket, I'm
try
rolling.
to always have 2 left.
Okay, what if you don't?
Well, if I don't, then I'm not going to call a timeout. This all depends on the scenario. I mean, if I have 2 timeouts left, I might call one
we
and then see the defense and then do another one.
But at the same time, they get to set up their defense. You get to play, not be playing on your heels. Let the kids go. If you practice that enough times, and you can only do so much.
That's true.
Let them play. You have a set that you should probably call at the end.
Oh, it's fine.
If you're on the free throw line, especially, if he makes the shot, we're running this. And you tell him that. If I'm going to call a timeout, I'm going to call it when everybody's standing still then. And then I'm going to let it go. I usually try to walk through a couple different things. Listen, if they make this, here's what we're going to do because we need a bucket. I might attack the rim. I do whatever. I might run a set. If they miss it and it's a tie game,
I'll let it roll.
I'm probably still going to let it roll.
If they miss, if it's a free throw.
Oh, wait. Are we saying there's a difference between girls and boys?
Absolutely.
Oh, I call garbage. I've coached
both. Are you trying to say that women are inferior over here?
I'm saying
I will tell you,
nope,
if you don't have a detailed plan with girls basketball players,
why don't you
it's a
set
big
it up
difference.
at the free throw line when they're shooting free throw? Try to ice them. Call your timeout then. And then talk to them.
But then
there's
what if
time passes?
What if
it's a lifetime?
What
30 seconds is a lifetime.
What if the ball is made, and then you got to take that ball out of bounds? What if it's missed and you don't have to take the ball out of bounds? Now those girls got to think, oh my goodness, I just missed it.
Who am I supposed to outlet
Coach only
to?
told me about if it's a make happens. What if that happens?
You need to utilize your timeout.
Well, I would hope in the timeout you explain, make or miss, we're doing this.
Yeah, but here's my problem is girls only hear one thing. So they're going to listen to you.
Whoa,
and I'll tell you
that's
this.
a very direct
So, dang, did you hear that, Miss Duncan?
I will tell you this.
I'm going to tell you right now.
She'll agree with me. It's a point
I'm going to tell you
if you
right
tell
now.
them 2 scenarios, they're thinking the first thing you told them. And so if
Miss
you do
Duncan, you can't think of more than one thing. That's what he's saying.
Now, I didn't say to you. I said
high school
athletes
teenagers.
are going to do that. So if I get to the ball at the half court and
If
I
you
have
say make or miss.
if I only have to tell them one thing, they're going to do what I tell them on that one thing.
Hey, no matter what happens, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can do that.
All right, boys, we're going to run the picket fence at them right now.
All right, here's your next one.
No, I ain't running
All right.
This or that,
picket
baseball.
fence.
You are up 3 runs.
Yep.
First base is open.
Yep.
There are 2 outs.
Second,
The other first base is open.
So second and third are occupied by
Yes.
the runners.
The other team's star
kinda how
player
that works.
is up to bat. Do you pitch to him
Play ball.
or do you walk him? He's the tying run, but you allow the go-ahead run to come up to bat.
Come on up to bat. Best player needs to
Wait a
sit
minute,
on
wait a
first
minute.
base.
No,
Best
man.
player. So you're saying, like, who? Cardinals' number 3 hitter is who?
Right now it's Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt.
Okay. You're going to walk him and pitch to Arenado?
We do high school. We do
No, he said the
whatever.
best player is
The best player is coming up
Arenado
to tie
is the
the
best
game.
player.
Okay.
I walk
So
the next 2.
Goldie's on.
I walk the
Edmonds
next 2.
on.
Arenado
And-
comes up.
So
And
you're
here's
telling me
Arenado.
there's a person at third and second.
Yes.
First base is open.
And they're down how many?
You're
We're
up 3.
up 3.
You are.
We're up 3. Barry Bonds is coming up to the plate.
Oh,
Are you pitching to Barry
Oh,
Bonds? or you
hell
walking
no.
him?
I'm walking that
Okay.
dude.
Okay, there you go.
I'm putting it one in his butt, and then I'm going to walk the next guy.
So you're hitting
Then they score. Now you're up 2
So
with
you're
bases loaded with 2 outs.
That's right. I'll take my chances at the number 5, 6, 7 hitter.
And the tying
So
run now is on second.
you want to put a guy. You want to make any base an out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm exactly like what Christopher Taylor says right now. Throw at the batter.
I'm not letting the best person beat me.
No,
That's right.
I'm not
Never.
letting. I am
Never.
not letting.
But if he hits a home run, he's not beating
it's
you.
it's tied.
So
I'm not
What if
letting.
the other guy does?
depends on what. I'm not going to lie to you. It depends on what my reliever and his I mean,
Numbers.
We're talking major
Numbers.
league.
Numbers.
So
the hit chart.
I'm going to tell you right now, we did this
the hit chart?
years ago.
High school's going to be a little different.
chart.
Okay, let's go high school.
Major league, you're going to have a lot more information. If you're telling me it's Brad Lidge against so-and-so and so-and-so. Okay.
It's still going.
And if you look out the window of the airplane, you can still see Pujols' ball that he just hit off Brad.
Right. Well, if it's Albert Pujols and I have Brad Lidge, I'm walking Albert. But what I'm saying is, if it's major league, you have stats enough that you can go, okay, I'm pitching or I'm not.
I'm not pitching. St. Louis Cardinals, David Ortiz, ring a bell. I'm not pitching to David Ortiz.
Mike Matheny said, screw you.
Exactly. And let David Ortiz hit over 600. I'm not the best player cannot beat you. Cannot have
He's not going to beat you. He's only going to tie you.
But I'm not even allowing the best person to do that.
No.
Okay. I want to take. I agree with Zach. I want to take my chances with the guy who's not the best player, and see if he doesn't hit a little Texas League.
But you're talking a difference of so Arenado or first baseman.
Yeah.
So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to walk Arenado to face our first Goldsmith.
Yeah.
It's the same difference.
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
It's two different guys.
If Arenado's batting 450 and Goldschmidt's batting 250, I'm taking my chances.
You're only force out two. You're only force out two
is at first base.
Is at first.
Yeah.
If I put him on any bases, now the force out.
I'm probably
2
going
outs.
against the odds and pitching to him, and at least the worst case scenario,
the worst case
he can tie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
If I put him on,
I'm never
and
with
then I
Blair
pitch to
on
the next
anything,
guy,
but I am here.
If I pitch to the next guy and he beats me on a walk-off grand slam, that's what I'm not taking.
I'll do you one better on that. If I'm going to pitch to him, I'm throwing him outside and see if he chases some junk.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, we didn't say exactly how we were going to pitch to him.
Okay, yes, if you put him on or not. If I had to pick between those two, I'd put him on.
I agree.
If I had the option, I'm going to throw him at least.
I can't answer. I'm not answering the question. Why did you pitch to him?
Trash.
I'm answering.
pitches.
Okay, so go back to your question. If I have to pitch to the best player and it's only going to tie the game, I'm pitching to him.
Pitch.
Okay. All right, last one.
Because think about Cardinals. You're gonna have Reyes.
Oh, I totally get it.
Reyes might. I don't care who it is. Might strike him out.
What's this? What?
He's showing us
but I'm
what
here
he's
to tell you. Listen,
he's pitching a change.
Yeah. This guy holds a slider.
Okay, last one.
Well, hold on a second. My batters are still going to have a ball mark at their butt. So just saying. That's the
what if you throw and it doesn't?
Throwing at him.
I'm throwing at him.
What if it goes behind him?
It goes behind him.
Well, Chris Taylor says I'd put Carpenter on the mound at that point. So,
all right, last one.
Ephus pitch.
Okay, we can do. I want to hear the high school answer, and then we'll do college pro.
So high school first.
Whatever you want.
Let's go high school first.
Okay.
Got it. I'm listening.
One player to affect the game. You got one player, this or that. Are you it changed my mind after this year. Do you want a point guard or do you want a dominant, tall post player? One game to affect the game. What are you taking?
Point
my
guard.
My mind changed
Point
after
guard.
this year.
Yep.
Point guard because if a team's bigger, you can still do stuff to be effective, especially from the 3-point line. If you come up against a team that presses, then we can beat the press probably, especially a good man press with a good point guard. You can run your offense with a good point guard. I don't have to worry about turnovers in the damn backcourt with a good point guard. All those things aside, somebody has to throw the ball into the guy who's the big dominant post player. Got to have a point guard.
My mind changed after watching North County, Lutheran South. I'm taking the big in high school. I would just watch the guy 6'7", completely.
Were you at that game?
No, watched it online. Had to pay however much, arm and leg, take out.
Oh, you watched our stream. That's what you did.
Yeah. Anyway, and watch that.
One kidney. Go ahead.
Yeah, and watch that
is your
6'7"
stream
kid.
that costs all the money?
Yeah, Misha. And watch that kid completely take out two college players, all state players, completely take them out of their game.
But you know what? He wasn't the only one who affected the game.
I'm saying from a defensive standpoint, North County couldn't score.
Well, I mean, it's harder to score inside when you have that happen. But
you get one and done. I'm just saying, after watching that, because I've always said, give me point guard.
I'd have said point guard.
So wait, how many rebounds did that kid have? Did he have 25, 30?
I couldn't
How many
tell
did
you.
the team have? He didn't get every damn rebound.
I understand that, but he affected. They couldn't score.
Well, then
it was done. It was over. That game was over, Ray. That game was over
Sure.
the first 3 minutes. It was done.
Hey, but the problem is, though, is you're talking.
That was the boys' game you're talking about, right?
Yes.
But hey, we're
and North County was heavy guards.
Yes, they had two really good guards.
Really good.
But here's the
All
thing:
State.
where were they scoring all their points?
A transfer.
Where's North County trying to score all their points?
They were trying to attack the
A
rim.
transfer.
Okay, so why would you do that? If it doesn't work,
because they were 0 for their first 12 or 1 for the first 15.
It sounds
for 3.
like well, you know what? It sounds like it wasn't just the big guy. It sounds like it was everybody else that played with that guy on Lutheran South. If you say one game, if it's one game,
that's the
I'm
debate.
taking a point guard.
That's how
and
they
it's not even close.
That's how they beat DeSmet. That's how they beat. I'm trying to think, Rockwood Summit.
You're talking about Lutheran South.
Yep.
From guard play.
Apparently, they got to have some kind of good guard.
they had one really good guard there.
Well, then there you go.
And
so a good guard
and it was
somebody
a mixture.
throw him the ball.
It was a mixture of both of those guys.
I just know, knowing the kids, having the kids in class, seeing the kid watching games over there, I know they were completely out of. They were mentally frazzled. From because what they did, and this is going against 6A kid from Farmington. This is going against these kids that's been on the schedule all year that they were able to attack. They could not do what they wanted to do because he was there and he affected everything offensively. And it being high school kids, everything spiraled.
Do something else.
I'm just saying.
I'm still taking a point guard.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll do you one better.
Okay.
I'll still take a point guard.
You take
at the next level.
Okay, you take a next
I'll
level.
still take it at the next level after that.
I'll take Otto Porter's 30-some-odd boards and 28 boards, 30-some-odd points, and Final Four.
He had a good guard, too.
Yes, he did.
Truly.
Bobby Hatchett was a pretty damn good guard.
Yes, well, he was a very good guard. Yeah.
So let's be clear here. Without him, Otto doesn't have – he's good. He's in the NBA good.
Right.
But he is not as good because he had that complimentary piece.
I mean, I've got my butt pressed and not be able to get across half court. So I'm taking a point guard.
We're getting ready to do
we got a big time drawing here.
Roll it up. Yep.
Who's the winner of the $20 gift certificate?
Gosh dang! I tried to agree, and then he's going to play his music. We weren't even done.
La Pachenga.
Hey, Ray, it's 10 o'clock.
$20 gift certificate.
Oh, so hey, window, window, wide open.
The hat's going backwards.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you do have a good hat on. It's not blue.
Here it comes.
Danny Sigmund.
Hey!
You are the winner.
Danny Sigmund.
Get your email. We'll get your home address.
Miller, I'm with you though. I'd take point guard.
Taking the point guard.
Point guard.
Does everybody know who Danny Sigmund is? He's the coach for Rock Memorial. There you go. So
there you go.
Hey,
appreciate it.
We're going to be on next Tuesday. We got Coach Bone. Yep. We're probably going to be just as crazy.
And we'd love to get Coach Sigmund on here. I mean, absolutely. I think it'd be great to get all the Legion coaches on here and see what they're
Hey, and if you want to sponsor the show or you know somebody who does, tell them to sponsor. We'll throw some stuff out there. We're getting ready to all be out of school except for Blair. He's just going to deliver Pepsi. And we can do commercials.
I'm with you.
Sell Pepsi.
Mark Pacelli over here at Emos. Herky Emos, you need to get on board, bro.
Does he even watch the show?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe you should go
Who sponsored the segment? Let's do that again.
This is La Pachanga.
La Pachanga.
La Pachanga, which is next door to Emos. I was going to say next door to La Pachanga.
Next door to La Pachanga.
There you have it.
No, we appreciate everything that Joel has done here at La Pachanga.
He's the greatest.
I mean, he's graciously opened up his place of business here for probably over 40 weeks for us.
Probably about 50.
He's done every single one but 2.
And so we can't say enough of.
59.
We've had three at my house. Three at my house.
We had
Four.
We had a couple of pies.
Do I have 4? Do I have 5?
Couple of pies.
Five.
Blair's trying to talk.
Going six.
Hey,
going 6.
sponsorship.
I do say that this is a value part
His
of
home base. Period.
He lives here.
This is a value part of our of our show. I mean, if we didn't have La Pachanga here to be able to take it, we would be.
How many selfies?
Who knows where we would be?
How many selfies have you gotten with this in the background?
This,
guys, I
would say over 50.
I don't know how many people. Why is your face on this screen? You know, I don't know how many times I've gotten that.
It has.
I don't get that.
But I tell you what,
I don't need those friends.
Here's the thing. Okay, we're trying to give out to the local community, and we would love to not only give out $20 gift certificates to La Pachanga, but we'd like to give a gift certificate out to your local business here in Jefferson County. So if you would love to sponsor our show, $50 for an entire month, sponsor a segment of our show for an entire month, $50.
Yep.
We will actually advertise for your company. We will actually buy a gift certificate to your place of business.
You might get Blair to do a commercial
Absolutely.
about your place.
And here's the thing. We are all about giving back to the local community. And, that's something that we've been very fortunate to be able to do this during this last year and a half of all this nonsense that we've had to deal with.
Nonsense.
But I will tell you that if it wasn't for, our local community and our local businesses that have been willing to benefit and help us, we wouldn't have been able to do this show for 61 weeks in a row. So
that's right.
We appreciate that. And if you would like to be a sponsor, contact you're more than welcome to contact Ray or contact any
Numbers
of us.
out there.
For coaches here, we would more than happy to help you get that all information out to you.
And if you don't know what to order down here at La Pachanga, I suggest the Brothers Pizza.
Blair Special.
It's the best of a lot of worlds in the Brothers Pizza. Now, who cares about the Blair Special? Brothers Pizza is better than the Blair Special.
There it is.
Come and order the Blair Special and see what you get.
Don't come over.
Royals Campolo.
There you go.
Maybe the Mitchell.
I think that's
Mitchell.
the Mitchell.
Maybe the Miller Special.
Yeah.
Do you have a special, Miller?
Mexican
I'm just special.
fajitas.
Steak, chicken, and cheese.
Steak,
right.
chicken, and cheese. And I'm a
And
chicken
shrimp.
quesadilla guy. So there you go.
And shrimp.
All right. Thanks for watching the Coach's Box tonight. We'll see you next week with
See you
Zach
next
Bone on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We will see you
Hey,
then.
Zach Bone.
Have a great evening.